Crazy how much y'all do is growing out from bugs.
So right now the greenhouses are pretty much empty because all the spring stuff basically moved out now.
Y'all be doing poinsettias here not too long.
We actually, the mums will probably be here today.
Doesn't it get so hot for them? Like
they don't mind. So the mums will be here today or tomorrow. We'll start planting mums for fall already, and then poinsettias will be like 3 weeks after that. We'll start planting poinsettias.
Have y'all seen the mum sales drop off at all? Like, do people still buy the mums like they used to? Because that's like an annual kind of thing people buy.
Yeah, we've cut back a little bit on mums, but we still had a strong mum season last year. And the mums are perennial, so that's nice. People can plant them out in the garden. So right now we're in the last stages of just cleaning back here, because in between crops, like I
can smell the cleaner.
Yeah, once we get rid of our spring crops, we blow out all the weeds, we kill all the weeds, we clean off the tables, we pressure wash everything, and then we disinfect everything with a disinfectant foam. It's basically like hydrogen peroxide and some other acid mixed in it, because we don't want to start with disease in the greenhouse or bugs in the greenhouse. So everything gets cleaned and sanitized. Yeah, starting this week, we'll start planting mums. You mentioned it gets hot, so our mums will start off on this side of the greenhouse close to the wet wall, because this is the coolest end of the greenhouse. As we like transition to fall, then we'll start spreading everything out that way, because it gets a lot hotter down on that end of the greenhouse.
Oh, I bet.
You know, the fresh air, the cool air gets drawn in here and then exhausted out that way.
But I guess like the main thing is like make sure there's some kind of air circulation with those mums, right?
Yes.
Yeah, some kind of circulation going.
Yeah, like those circulating fans are really important. Even when like on a cool morning, you know, when the exhaust fans aren't running, you still want to have circulating air in here, because things can get fungal or bacterial diseases if the air just stagnates in here, especially with high humidity at night. So circulating fans really help. So you'll see that in every commercial greenhouse. They've got air circulation going on.
Might be a good trial for that Color Star Plus for the fungicide.
Yeah.
For the mums, because that's one of the things with those broader leaves, you're going to get the fungal issues.
Yep, and mums are very susceptible to fungal issues.
Do y'all put anything in the water? Like y'all, yeah.
Yeah, we drench with mycorrhiza. That's one of the best ways to fight fungus is with putting the beneficial fungus in there.
Right.
Those mycorrhiza will act as a bodyguard against the bad types of fungus. So that's why I love mycorrhiza so much, is because the mycorrhiza can't survive without the plant.
Yeah.
So the plant feeds it the excess sugars that it needs and carbs that it needs to fuel that mycorrhiza fungus. And in exchange, the fungus is going to it can synthesize minerals that the plant can't, and give that to the plant's roots. And so they've got this symbiotic relationship. And because of that, the mycorrhiza, I don't know if you could say it knows, but the mycorrhiza knows that if the plant dies, it dies.
Yeah.
And so it's going to protect your plant.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. So it's going to protect your plant against the root rot fungus, because it's like, no, I'm the fungus around here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's so helpful having that mycorrhiza in the soil. We put it in our soil, and then we drench with mycorrhiza also.
Oh, nice.
To help fight against the root rot. We used to have to do so much fungicide treatment on our poinsettias. Poinsettias are very susceptible to root rot.
Really?
And, and so ever since we switched to mycorrhiza in the soil, we don't have to hardly treat with fungicide anymore. It's been really...
I didn't know the mums can handle the heat. I didn't know they can handle...
Yeah, they handle the heat.
So in Houston, we get them and you put them in the shade, like just like Japanese maples. Like there's maybe that's a problem. There's too much shade. Maybe they need to go out more sun.
Yeah, they'll bloom better in the sun for sure. That's something I've seen happen, is people buy them while they're in bud, and then they put them in deep shade on their porch, and then the buds won't open up because they need that sunlight to continue to develop the buds and bloom. So yeah, give your mums some sun. Now they will dry out fast.
Yeah.
That's where people kill them. They think that the heat gets them, but it's because they don't water them enough.
And is overhead watering an issue with them though?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to water the soil. That's why we put them all on drips, and then we
what is this?
It's just a little piece of pipe.
You just set
it down in there.
Okay, keeps it from spraying out more. Helps the overspray.
Yep. And then you'll notice, like with our watering wands that we use, we take the heads off of them in the fall when we're watering our mums, because we don't want to spray straight onto the leaves.
Just the soil.
Yeah, we take that wand and we stick it down to the soil level, and water them there. Oh, here's our wand.
Just take it off and just get the...
Yeah. So yeah, this will all be full real soon.
Wow.
It doesn't stay empty for long.
And 3 plugs per pot?
On the big ones.
Yeah.
3 plugs per pot. On our like 1 gallons, it's just one plug. So yeah, this just got emptied out last week. And so it's just sweep the floors, pressure wash, disinfect.
And these are the rolling tables?
Yeah, those are the rolling tables.
That's so cool. You can move 100 foot of table.
Yeah, this is actually 130 feet of table.
Jeez.
Yeah, just one hand operation. Even when it's full of plants, it'll weigh several tons.
How is it that easy? That's so crazy.
Yeah, no gears, nothing. It's just a pipe.
This is the idea that I was gonna steal from y'all and I didn't do it yet.
Oh, the cart. Yeah.
That is so freaking.
The trolley.
Because I've got so much stuff that I can hang from my greenhouse.
Oh yeah, it just makes it way easier when you're pulling plants.
Yeah. It's so funny when people are growers in their nurseries, they just are constantly seeing when they look around, what can I improve at my place?
Yeah.
What can I use from here to improve my situation?
Did we get the mums yet?
We get the mums.
Oh, they did get here.
Yeah.
Just get here this morning?
No, I guess they got here yesterday.
Okay.
These the 220 or what?
These are 72s and 50 count.
Wow.
Oh no, these are 50s.
It smells good out here. It smells really weird. It smells good, weird but good out here. It smells good. These are cool trays.
Yeah. So yeah, first mums are in. These will be for our larger ones. I guess these are combos.
There's
Yeah.
a mix or what?
Yeah, this is a fusion mix. So harvest fusion. These big ones.
Yoder
these
mum.
See so that's 3 different varieties.
Oh, nice. They come like that.
Yeah.
What kind of... Let me see. Is
That's an individual, and this is a combo.
And what are these? The plugs are all situated like this. They expand like the coco core or the peat.
So that's called an ellie pot, and it's like a paper fabric that just holds the soil together.
Okay.
And the roots will punch straight through it.
Okay, so it's not like those Jiffy pods where they never break down. Like those are trash.
Yeah.
Y'all probably sell Jiffy pods, don't you?
We don't.
Okay.
But I'm not like an anti-Jiffy pot.
No. My thing is they say it breaks down, and like I literally had plants get choked out by the liner on those little.
It doesn't break down fast enough.
Right, and I've had like 5 years later dig something up and I find that liner still. I'm like, you have to take into account like when you move to a different size pot, like the size of your table, and like do the math and like how it changes things up.
We should.
Because I'm always thinking about flats. Like I'll find a pot that I like. And I moved to all square pots because I'm OCD and I can fit more stuff. But like it's almost like when I find a pot that I like, I can never find the right tray for it. Like that works great. Like it's always find something you like, but you can't find something to put it in.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. And we have to buy because every company makes them slightly different. And so we have to buy them together. And then sometimes they back order their trays, and then we're trying to find a tray that'll fit the pots that we have.
It'll be slightly taller, slightly wider.
Yeah.
And so when you said you'll put 3 in a large pot, is it just one of these?
Those ones are gonna go 1 because that has the three in
colors.
1. And then if we on our solid colors on a 14-inch pot, we'll do 3 in a pot.
Okay. I think I've seen a video where you show that come in, they're all packed in like a big box like that.
Yeah, they FedEx them to us.
That's crazy.